This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and on today's episode, I'm stealing a quote from old mate Gary Vaynerchuk. I did not say that well at all. That was bad. Have you heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? I know I can't hear your answer, but you still said it. If you said yes, then you would probably find that he's been like blowing up on the interwebs for the last, 2 years, so to speak. He's got a decent message. I often find myself binging on him, on his content, like once a year. And it's just what I need, usually. But if you haven't, worth checking him out. He's definitely an entrepreneur, in your face, kind of dude. But I think his message overall is pretty good. He would probably benefit from breathing a little bit more rather than just talking. But hey, he's successful. He does his thing. He's Gary Vaynerchuk. I can't do it. Fuck, I'm sorry. That was twice. All right, let's move on. So he sort of quoted recently saying, "The truth is undefeated." And I really enjoy that quote in that passage going, the truth is undefeated. It's like the truth wins. And I remember I've talked to people before that are going through really difficult times, and like, these people are saying these things about me, these people are saying these things about me, these people are doing this, these people are doing that. It's like, is it true? They're like, nah, they're lying, and then this is going to ruin me and all this kind of shit. It's like, look, I've given them the advice that I gave myself through a period where people were saying shit about me that I didn't believe were true, nor was there evidence of being true. And they made a lot of noise in the fitness industry. In my hometown, Canberra is relatively small, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, it was a business partner leaving my business at the time and starting a business up just around the road. And I just remember thinking, I'm like, the truth always comes out and character never lies. And I just repeated that to myself a lot of the time. Whenever I'd see these things and hear these things about me, and I'm like, that's not true. And I'm like, this person that was meant to be some sort of, angel and saint, that, they would never do anything like this. And it's just like, fuck it. I was just like, you know what? I played my role in here. I've made my mistakes in this situation, sure. But it's definitely not angel and devil. I can promise you that. And going through that process was a really good opportunity for me to go, okay, what can I take responsibility for? I remember thinking that. But from there, it was going, the things that people are saying, that noise will die down, right? When people realize it's just a dog barking. The dog barking is they're often trapped, right? And so the idea of this was like, the truth always comes out and character never lies. And so this is where I really shifted my understanding of continually developing my character and it took me a long time to really continue to pull apart the whole truth thing as well, but I find it so interesting how often people will say something along the lines of, my problem is I'm too honest. It's like, no, it's not. Like, you're lying to yourself saying that. That's not your fucking problem. That's no one's problem, right? That's a lie. Can you see the paradox in what you're saying? No one's problem is that they're too honest, because often if we're lying, right? What happens? If I lie to you, then there's two lies going on. The lie is I'm lying to you, and I'm lying to myself that that's okay. The other thing about lying, though, is that it weakens us. And often we will create little lies, and it's like, that's not true. Some part of you is like, you're like, shut up, man, shut up, just tell a little lie, and everything will be okay. It's like, that's not how the fucking world works, right? And the issue here doesn't mean that you should always go and tell everyone everything that you know to be true the first time you meet them. There's definitely a certain stage of going, this is what I feel is needed to be communicated in this moment. Like, sure, totally understand that. But be really aware of the things that you say that are not true. Right, and I've said it before, is that sometimes being silent is lying. It's like, do you have anything to say? It's like, nah. It's like, that's a fucking lie. It's like, I didn't lie to you. It's like, yeah, you did, because you didn't say what was worthy of saying in that moment, right? That would have improved the situation on some level. And sometimes you sit there and you go, the truth is going to hurt, so I'm not going to say anything. I remember like being told growing up by my mum, the truth hurts, David. You can't, the truth hurts. It's just like, okay, the truth can hurt, yep. But it hurts more not to tell the truth. That's the reality of it. So here it is, right? The truth hurts, but lies numb. The truth hurts, but lies numb. And what I mean by that is going, it hurts to hear the truth sometimes, but when we lie, we teach ourselves not to feel. And we have to be careful for that, because that is a really dangerous place to be, because you can go through decades of your life not feeling, and then all of a sudden you have this moment where you're like, what the fuck am I doing? I just feel like I've been in a cloud, and I don't want to do this anymore. It's like you haven't wanted to do it for years. You haven't wanted to do it for years. It's just that now you're getting pain and you're hating what you're doing, and then you're going, why the fuck am I doing this? It's like, if you were aware enough to eat, like to eat the truth, right? 10, 20 years ago, we wouldn't be here. Don't lie to yourself, because it has exponential issues later on down the track that affect more than just you. This is all the little lies, because then there's no such thing as a little lie. Because a little lie, if you get away with a little lie, teaches you how to tell lies, right? And the thing is that, once again, the truth always comes out, and character never lies. Because you can lie, but that character will come true. And this is where you see people who are somewhat manipulative, and they have to continue to move friendship groups, right? Now, maybe it's worth seeing some sort of psychologist or someone to help them understand this process, because often as we develop and our potential moves through stages of development and stages of consciousness, we might have some issues back in the past, and that's where part of our unconsciousness really still sits. And so part of our behavior is actually being run by shit that used to work when we were 12. Fair enough. Like, get some work done. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think you're not, if that's you, just hypothetically, let's say that's you, you're not like the exception. Guys, that's the fucking rule. Like, having some things like that is not the exception. It's the rule. It's just we don't fucking admit it, right? Because it's too painful, because it's the truth. This is the biggest thing. This is why I continue to recommend to people. I'm like, unravel yourself. You know, people go, I was at a seminar that I read just the other day, and one of the people there, I was going through the Enneagram types and effectively kind of describing them a little bit, because that led into everything we spoke about later in the day. One of the people, like, they sort of struggled to pay attention. They had a few other things on their mind, like, you know, all credit to them, but they struggled to pay attention, which was completely fine. I get it. And they would say, look, you know, I'm sort of struggling with this. Is there something like you could say that's like, here's this type, and here's some things that they would say, and here's what you can say to them? And it's like, no. Not really. And not really, because, like, there's not a simple black and white answer for that. Like, we're not trying to... this seminar, my conversation, my communication, my message is not about understanding the world. It's about understanding you that understands the world. And that is different. And we can't do it if we keep lying to ourselves, because how the fuck can you understand the world when you're lying to yourself? How can you? So get rid of the bullshit. And I promise you that you'd be surprised, or don't be surprised if 80% of what you think and say is bullshit. And then you're like, well, how dare you say that, David? That's so rude and mean. I don't know who sounds like that, by the way, but people do. Somewhere. Me, maybe. But what I'm getting at with that is going, there's so much that you go, why was I going to say that? It's like, because I wanted that person to be impressed by me. Fuck, okay. Like that's dead wood. And that's okay, because I would say majority of us is like that. And those that aren't, truly, don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, okay, you're working on yourself. Cool, yeah, I get it. It's like, you're not judgmental? It's like, no. But the person that's like, oh, yeah, you're doing that thing again? Yeah, well, here's a way to become better. I don't know why they sound like that. I don't know why. I'm glad no one was in the studio with me, seeing me like do my hand movements at the same time. But I'm just saying, like, if the person judges on you for working on yourself, it's like, they're not transcendent yet. You don't judge someone for trying to get better. It's like, oh, you're going to the gym because you're fat, right? It's like, no one does that. No one healthy, right? No one secure, right? Like, think of it like this. No one that is secure with themselves feels the need to belittle someone else. It's really simple. So if someone belittles you, if you trying to develop you, it's a reflection of them. Don't worry about it. You keep doing you. You keep moving forward. You keep finding out what parts of you are dead wood, and you carve it. You get rid of it. You cut the fat. And then you're a lean, mean, truthing machine. I just tried it on. It didn't really work. But either way, I'm going to finish it there. Team, thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you found it beneficial, it would mean the world to me. If you would share it with someone else that you think would also find it beneficial. If you want to continue this conversation, then jump into Mood Prep Online. I would love to see you guys there. You can find out more about the memberships on that. It's on my website. It's currently under the website membership of The Human Movement in membership side on the davenixon.com.au. Check it out. Otherwise, as always, until tomorrow, peace and pizza, kick today in the dick, slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.
To be everything at and unburned.